This video is brought to you by Greenman Gaming. Click the link below if you want to see some amazing deals on some incredible games. So after the longest time of procrastinating and putting it off, I finally decided to put the time in and 100% The Evil Within 2, which it took me so long, fellas. You know, I'm literally like the #1 Evil Within fan, and I hadn't even 100%ed The Evil Within 2. Like, I did the first one, but it took me way too long to do the second one, and I'm sorry guys, I'm an Evil Within LARPer. Okay, but in all seriousness, The Evil Within 2's achievements, the reason why I was putting it off was because of the Classic Mode achievement. And if you don't already know, Classic Mode is basically the hardest difficulty. It's the Akumu equivalent on that game. And in that difficulty, you only get 7 saves, you can't upgrade Sebastian at all, you also can't upgrade any of his weapons, and I would argue that's more annoying than Akumu, because at least on Akumu you get checkpoints. You know, you're just bashing your head against the wall until it cracks and you get through whatever you're stuck on. If you die on the Evil Within 2 Classic Mode, you could lose hours of progress, and who's to say that you don't die trying to get that progress back, wasting even more time? So yeah, I was pretty put off doing that. But then I learnt something. I learnt something a bit cheeky. So the Evil Within 2 has these modifiers, which give Sebastian invincibility, infinite stamina, and maximum damage, basically one-shotting everything. And you know what these modifiers don't do? Disable achievements. So I fucking used these and I ran through Classic Mode in one sitting. I beat that shit and I 100%ed it, and even though I did that, I don't class that as cheating. I genuinely don't class that as cheating the achievement. I still think I earned it fair and square. And that's because when it comes to achievements and cheating, I'm of the mindset of working smart and not hard. But I only apply this if it comes to utilizing games mechanics or bugs. I don't consider that cheating. I only consider it cheating if you're using stuff like third-party software like Steam Achievement Manager and stuff. That's just straight up cheating. Everyone knows you're cheating when you do that, by the way, because we can see the dates when the achievements are earned. So if you have an account that's just 100%ed thousands of games, people are going to check and they will see if you have cheated them in. But if it's utilizing in-game mechanics or exploits within the game itself, I don't consider that cheating. I just think that's the smart way around it. Now, obviously there are people who are very much like, you didn't do it legitimately, so you did cheat. And yeah, you know, fair enough. If you're of the mindset that you need to do these things legitimately, otherwise you are cheating, that's fair. But the good thing about this is people see it differently, and this is basically my take on whether utilizing in-game mechanics is cheating when it comes to getting achievements. But there's a bit more to this, right? Let's talk about glitched achievements, or achievements popping up because the developers forgot to code them. Do you guys remember Remnant, that third-person shooter Souls-like? It's a pretty underrated game. I pre-ordered it back in the day, which gave me early access to the game, and as soon as I opened it, I got 80% of the achievements. They just all popped at once. And I'm gonna be honest, that put me off playing the rest of the game. I felt cheated by the game instead of me cheating the achievements. I felt like people would see that and be like, oh, this guy's fucking cheated playing Remnant. And I know this is bad, I know this is stupid, but I like seeing the achievements pop while I'm progressing through a game. I find it very satisfying. It's like a little dopamine hit, especially with the Steam achievement sound. But having them all pop at once, meaning that none of them will appear while I'm playing through the game, it just put me off playing. And I used Steam Achievement Manager to get rid of these achievements so I could get them legitimately. And that is an example of utilizing Steam Achievement Manager in a way that I wouldn't consider cheating as well, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to get them legitimately within the game itself, so yeah. I also really hate that Ubisoft games, because they finally added achievements, the lazy bastards. They were like, oh, let's make it so they all fucking appear at once, the ones that you've unlocked on Ubisoft Connect. So I never want to play Assassin's Creed Syndicate again, because my most recently earned achievement on that game is like beating the first mission, which is then after beating the game, so it looks like a mess. I hate it. It really pisses me off, and it's definitely like a pet peeve of mine. I know most people do not give a shit when it comes to stuff like this, but I fucking hate that shit, and I do wish I could use Steam Achievement Manager to wipe the achievements of some Ubisoft games so I can actually play them again with Steam achievements appearing this time. Now, another really good example of what I wouldn't consider cheating is when it comes to games with sort of a multiplayer. Specifically, I'm talking about Dark Souls here. The Dark Souls games have a few achievements relating to getting a certain item, like every piece of that item within a game. For example, Dark Souls 3 has Get All the Rings, and Dark Souls 1 has the Knight's Honor achievement, which is the achievement that takes the most time to get, because you have to play through the game 3 times, because sometimes you have to use a boss's soul to get a different weapon on a different playthrough, and obviously there's no boss selection mode, so you need to replay through the game entirely again on New Game Plus with the same character who already has the item. It's a bit of a clusterfuck and it's pretty tedious. But you want to know something you can do? If someone already has this achievement and has all of these items, if they're nice, you can literally just message them and say, hey man, can you drop these items for me so I can get the achievement? And it works. That shit works. That's how I got the Get All the Rings achievement in Dark Souls 3, because I'm not farming Covenants in New Game Plus 3. I am not doing the PvP of that game. And I had a friend who did that legitimately because he loved the PvP and he just dropped me the rings. I dropped them back to him and I got the achievement. I don't think that's cheating. I think that is working. I think that's smart. I think that is a smart way of getting around the tedium of getting certain achievements. I didn't use Steam Achievement Manager to make it appear. I did technically have all of the items in my inventory at one point, so technically it was still a legitimate way of getting these achievements. You know? The same goes for boosting in multiplayer games. I boosted the Bloodbath achievement on Doom Eternal Battle Mode because Doom Eternal Battle Mode is not really fun, so me and my friends realized you can still get achievements on private lobbies, and 2 of us AFK'd as demons while the other person played as the Doomslayer, murdering them over and over again until they got 200 kills to get the Bloodbath achievement. I think that's fine. I think that's a fine way of doing it. Especially if the multiplayer mode has no one playing it, you kind of need to boost these achievements to get them and play with friends on private lobbies. There's no other way around it. Especially shut down multiplayer modes where you physically cannot get the achievements at all. Now this is where it gets a bit dicey when it comes to whether or not I think this is cheating. Steam Achievement Manager is it's a bit of a plague on the achievement community because it is literally just you can unlock every achievement in a second, and it sucks that it exists. But I think it's good when it comes to dead multiplayer games with the servers shut down, because you have no way at all of getting these achievements anymore. And if you really like this game and want to showcase as one of your perfected games because, say, maybe when it was alive on a console you did actually get all these achievements, or you spent all this time getting all the single player achievements and you realize that the multiplayer had shut down, I completely understand just using Steam Achievement Manager and getting those achievements that are physically impossible to earn legitimately. I think that's what it comes down to. If the achievement is physically impossible to earn, be it glitched or the fact you literally just cannot get it no matter what you do or try in the game, for example, multiplayer being shut down, I think using Steam Achievement Manager is okay when it comes to that. Now I know there will be a lot of people who are like, using Steam Achievement Manager at all for anything is a sin and you should be punished for it. And that's why I'm making this video, because I can imagine there's a lot of opinions when it comes to cheating with achievements, and I really want to know what you guys think. What do you class as cheating when it comes to achievements? Would you say what I did in The Evil Within 2 is cheating, and I shouldn't have done it, and I should have done classic mode legitimately? I do really want to know what you guys think. I kind of want to create a bit of a discussion here when it comes to this topic, because I feel like everyone's going to have different opinions, because achievement hunting is a very subjective thing, in my opinion. And I have a few friends that really love achievement hunting, and they say a lot of different things when it comes to this, so let me know what you guys think. And thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a huge thank you to Greenman Gaming. If you're looking for some games to 100%, this is probably the best place to look, because they do so many deals on so many Steam games. My go-to place. The sales they do here are very generous. There'll be a link down below if you want to check it out. I also want to give a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the absolute best. I also want to know what your opinion on cheating when it comes to achievements is as well. Same goes to the channel members. You know, let me know in the comments. And again, thank you so much for your support. I will always appreciate it. Genuinely, there are so many of you now. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to comment the word, what's a good word? Comment the word STEM. We spoke about the Evil Within 2. Comment the word STEM, and I will heart your comment so we can confuse everyone who doesn't watch this far into the video. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.